This is how it looks like after purling all the stitches. Now we're going to separate our stitches to get the Raglan bevels. The bevels will appear by increasing. For this we need some markers, and we've got to divide our total stitch number by 3. 3 sections because we've got the front part, the back part and 2 sleeves. Both sleeves count as 1 section. 60 stitches divided by 3, that's 20 stitches. We're going to separate the sleeves first. 20 divided by 2, that's 10. 10 stitches for each sleeve. Let's go. I'm going to take off the first stitch. Number 1. Now knit 9 stitches. Put a marker here onto your knitting needle. Now knit 20 stitches for the main part. Front or back part, this could be both. These are 20. Set a marker. Now knit 10 stitches for the second sleeve. So there should be left 20 stitches for the other main part. Let's knit them too. Set a marker also here. Now let's join these to a circle. Make sure that you don't twist your work. Then pull out the cable approximately at the center of your stitches and bring the knitting needle in position. Now we're going to increase. We increase always twice, before and after the marker. At this point, our position is behind the marker. We're going to knit all the stitches, but knitting in the circle will give you a loose front loop. That means we're going to knit through the front loop. Now to increase, I insert my needle through the front loop, bottom up, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, and leave it like this. Take the yarn to the front and purl the same stitch. Pull the yarn through the front loop, bottom up. We knit this stitch twice, and this is an increase. We get 1 more stitch. Then knit all the stitches through the front loop until you've got 1 stitch left before the marker. So that's 1 stitch before the marker. Now we're going to increase the same way. Knit and purl the stitch. Move the marker from one needle to the other. The next stitch is also an increase. Knit and purl the same stitch. Knit all the other stitches. Don't forget to leave 1 stitch before the marker. When you're done with all the stitches on the needle, pull out the cable again out of the center. If you don't like this procedure, you can use a sock needle set or a shorter cable at the beginning of your work. Increase before the marker. Move the marker. Increase also the stitch behind the marker. And also here, increase before and behind the marker. Knit all the other stitches. Here's one stitch left for the increase. Now move the marker, and that's it for the increasing round. The next 2 rounds will be knitting only, no increases. The increase stitches will have a different twist, so we've got to knit the increase stitches through the front loop and sometimes through the back loop to twist them in one direction. So you've got to look for the loose loop if it's the back or the front loop. If you see any markers, just move them from one needle to another. You just don't have to do anything else, just move them and then knit. Let's knit 2 rounds without increases and then we'll meet again. So that's the last stitch of round 2, and this will be an increasing round. The same as before, we increase always behind and before every marker. Knit all the other stitches in between. So that's how these Raglan bevels are done. We've got 1 increasing round and 2 normal rounds, so that's 3 at all to repeat. Continue this way until your sleeve sections are big enough. Your arms should have enough space in every sleeve section. Especially if you're working for kids, bigger is better because they're growing super fast. So just make bigger sleeve, not too tight. And meanwhile, I will sew this collar. Use your tapestry needle for that and make sure to sew it a little bit loose, not too tight for this yarn.